I will be talking to you about how I train super soldiers and cyborg soldiers and how to beat the Dracos in one-on-one fighting.
I served on the space station of Mimas as a liaison for the Earth Embassy, working with many alien races.
Jean-Charles Moyen, Franco-American SSP, aboard the Solaris spaceship, a part of the Solar Warden. My mission, protection and rescue slaves on other planets.
Rebecca Rose, Psychic Super Soldier, Moon, Mars, Kuiper Belt, and beyond.
We know if you won't tell them the truth, we will. Hi, I'm James Rink, founder of the Super Soldier Talk podcast, Healing Soul Survivors 501c3, and now the Super Soldier Activation Conference. Since 2010, I have dedicated myself to documenting the untold stories of the secret space program. I have brought awareness of milabs, also known as military abductions, MK Ultra, Monarch, and Montauk programming. Now, we're inviting you to attend the 2025 Super Soldier Activation Conference in Orlando, Florida, for 4 days of groundbreaking discussions beginning October 8th to the 12th. Reunite with over 25 courageous secret space program veterans, learn hidden truths, heal wounded hearts, and activate the power within. Hello everybody, welcome to the show. I'm James Rink, your host here today of Super Soldier Talk, and we have a very amazing guest. We have Nugy here today with Beta UFO based out of Indonesia. How you doing, Nugy? Oh, wait, I gotta unmute you. Now try unmute yourself.
Yeah. Thank you, James. Glad to be here.
Okay, great. So it was probably about 6 months ago. Somebody contacted me stating they were from Indonesia, and there were some super soldiers out there that wanted to share their stories. But the problem is, English is not a very mainstream language in Indonesia. So Nugy has translated some of these stories for us. But let's go ahead and begin. So Nugy is a lifelong contactee, researcher, and experiencer who has witnessed UFO craft up close. He's encountered frog-like life, like extraterrestrial being humanoid. Based in Indonesia, he serves as the vice president of Beta UFO, an organization dedicated to documenting extraterrestrial encounters across the country. Nugy also facilitates a free Zoom meetup group for Indonesian contactees, providing a space for experiencers to connect and share their stories. So today he will present a PowerPoint sharing accounts from a variety of Indonesian SSP super soldiers who wish to tell their stories. And so to learn more, if you want to check out Beta UFO, go click on the link in the description. So. All right. Okay. Audience members, thank you also for joining us here today. Hopefully, I have my fan on. It's actually, it's springtime, but I think I'll turn this off so that way. Does that sound better? Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and begin. I'll pull up this PowerPoint presentation and then we'll get into this. I know there's a little background noise, but okay. So let's just pull this up, get this in here. Give me a moment, guys. Hold on. I'm almost there. I'm going to get this here and make this big. Full screen. Oh, why don't you go? Yeah, I'll mute yourself. If I do full screen like this, can everybody see it? Nugy?
Yes. Yes,
You
I
can
can
see this? Okay, because all I see is a full screen.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to click the next button. Let's go on here. Are you going to narrate this or you want me to narrate it?
You can narrate it, James,
Okay.
if you want.
So I want to say special thanks to Mr. Nur Agustinus, founder and former president of Beta UFO Indonesia. Shout out to Mr. Nur. And also, yes, from Beta UFO. Let's go on. So we're going to go over some background information, some other experiencers, Indonesian military intelligence, Indonesian UFO folklore, Muhammad Accord, Indonesian crypto-terrestrial, sorry, Indonesian Space Force. So let's go into background information. I'm sorry, I'm having a little choke here, but it might be the pollen, honestly. They say we have record pollen right now. Nugy, I guess I can. Should we just do the Steven? Because I don't think I have his story. So you're gonna have to. Is he Mr. X? Nugi, I can't hear it, guys.
Okay, you want me to introduce
Yeah.
the
So go ahead and tell us this. So who is this? Is this Mr. X? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to put myself on mute. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, James. First, let me make a disclaimer. I'm not representing Beta UFO Indonesia in this session. I'm representing myself and my friend and expressing my own personal opinion. So the story begin when I present Stephen Chua's story on our community Zoom meeting. Then I was thinking that Stephen Chua live in Singapore. He report directly to Lee Kuan Yew, the prime minister at that time. He has a military background, martial art expert, firearm expert, sniper expert, superhuman power. He can actually repel evil spirit. He can repel black magic, special forces training, alien experiencer, psychic power. Then he has reptilian encounters in Kalimantan or Borneo. So this area is actually Indonesian region also. So I am very interested in this Stephen Chua. So I am guessing that if there is a super soldier in Singapore, there should be super soldier in Indonesia. And unfortunately, after giving the interviews, Mr. Stephen Chua passed away.
Okay.
Then I
So
yes,
is this Professor X, Mr. X?
yes, not Professor X, is Mr. X.
Okay.
He's really the first individual that contacted me in a Zoom meeting. So very mysterious. At that time, we only chat in the WhatsApp. Then he actually told me his story. He sometimes black out. He doesn't know what happened when he black out. So the first story he told me is he's in a Cessna plane traveling in remote area in Indonesia. Then suddenly his plane want to crash. Then he remember telling the pilot how to survive. Then he black out. The next thing he know, he is sitting in the ground. Apparently, he is the only survivor. He's sitting in the ground with no scratch, no wound whatsoever. Then he black out again, and then he is in a hotel. So this thing happened a lot, and he also told me a story, childhood story. He used to dream that he's underwater without any diving equipment. Then somebody is pulling his leg, yeah, to the bottom of the ocean. Then he just screamed. At that time he's only about 4 years, 3 years old. Then he woke up. The whole bedroom is full of water. So is not water from his body. Is like fresh water. Then he told me a story that his grandfather is actually in the Indonesian Navy Special Forces and fought the Battle of Surabaya. And when traveling with his own private plane from uh, uh, actually is from Bandung, I think, to Jakarta. Then he encountered UFO, ball of light, multiple times. So his father is also an experiencer. And when he was he actually talked about his grandfather about beings that are not human and has a skin like a shark, yeah, like a gray skin. Then he's also talking about the uh, cylinder shape spaceship that someone can live inside the cylinder spaceship. Cylinder spaceship is not something that 4 years old talk in Indonesia. Then he also, because his profession is a photographer, he is sent undercover to conflict zones like Aceh or Timor Timur. Indonesia has a military conflict in that area. Then later, he actually told me that he was also trained by uh, the Indonesian National Intelligence Agency and the Indonesian Army Special Forces. So he get parachute training, halo jumping training, every military training for special forces. He also has combat skills. He can operate firearms, and he also have superhuman power because he told me that when he encounter these seven thugs, with uh, sharp weapon, then suddenly he break out and he woke up all of those people already in on the ground with heavy wound. He doesn't know what happened. He didn't know what happened, and at other times, when he was angry, he is able to pull a taxi driver from the car by using only one hand. But unfortunately, when I told them my hypothesis that he probably a soldier, he actually denied that. He doesn't want to acknowledge that he might be a super soldier. I think that's Mr. X story. And after that, I am very happy. I actually saw one information probably related to the maybe an Indonesian super soldier in Indonesia. Okay.
Okay, Nugi, how about I pull up Professor X's story and read it for the audience?
Yes.
Okay, well, go ahead and put yourself on mute. I will actually. I could share my screen too. How about I do that, and then you can see it. Read it along with me, like when we were in grade school. Oh my gosh, I have so many windows up. Okay, here's this one. There we go. Okay. Okay, Subject X is a 53-year-old man. He is a professional photographer, and he comes from a military family. His grandfather served in the KKO, which is the Corps Commando something, yeah, in Indonesia, or Commando Corps of the Indonesian Navy. So go ahead. So let's go ahead and just mute your Nugi. So, yeah, go ahead and mute yourself. There we go. That way, get feedback. Okay. Um, okay. His grandfather also participated in the Battle of Surabaya, 1945. His grandfather was a pilot, and when flying solo with a single-engine Piper Cherokee plane from Jakarta to Bandung, several times he encountered a large ball of light. And I have personal suspicion that his grandfather has experienced a CE4, which is a close encounter of the fourth kind. That's where you actually encounter an extraterrestrial in front of you, right? Physically. This subject has a lot of strange experiences too. He has a lot of missing times and missing memories. For example, when he's on a Cessna 172 plane crashed, he only remembered encouraging the pilot to control the plane. Then he remembered nothing. The village people found him sitting cross-legged on the grass outside the plane. Strangely, the crash incident was not reported on any news media. Also, he remembers only a bit of memories when the village people take him to a hotel in Pare. I personally suspect that the subject has multiple personalities. Subject has also demonstrated mysterious combat skills, hand-to-hand combat skills, knife combat skills, and firearm combat skills. Subject has a lot of interest in firearms. He likes to read information about it, especially about the sniper rifle. Mysteriously, subject already knows about some firearms, but without any memory on how he received the information in the first place. In 1989, he defends himself against 6 muggers armed with knives. He made them all. So yes, they were all lying on the ground in pain. So I guess he blacked out, right? He defends himself like a pro without any training at all. In 1994, near Panglima Polem Melawali Bunlagan, Jakarta, Indonesia, subject pulled a drunk taxi driver with his bare hands and threw him on the asphalt road. I personally suspect the subject has received some kind of military combat training, but subject rejected that idea, so he's in denial. Yeah, subject's in denial, right? When he was in third grade, between 75 to 76, he was subjected to multiple times of bad dreams, like choking in water. The next morning, he wakes up, there's water on his bed, but it's not from any kind of bedwetting and no urine or anything like that, no sweat. So this happens very often. If this is true, he has demonstrated transmutation with the ability to manifest water, or maybe he actually was in the water and they put him back in bed while he was still wet. He also dreamed about being rolled in waves, but this happened until 6th grade. He also dreamed of being buried or pulled into a dark, damp ground. He was in a dark lake. He was diving without any breathing apparatus. When it started to get tight, he wanted to go up. But his legs seemed to be being held by a very big hand. This dream is similar to some of the intense training for super soldiers. They will try to drown the participants in extreme situation of life or death, and that's to create altars, right, Nugy? When he was a child, subject said to his father and grandfather that people can live in cigar-shaped vessels. They can walk, sit, work, and eat in it. When he was in kindergarten, subjects sometimes draw cigar-shaped submarines without head and periscope. I'm probably not saying it. Periscope, sorry. And some of these cigar ships, William Tompkins discussed about actually taking a submarine, and you can put a space drive on it, right? And then you can, some of those are time travelers, actually from our future, coming back and visiting us. Subject once had a discussion with his grandfather during his first trip to Bali in 74 with him. He remembers well, and when he said, "Many people are not like us, Grandpa. They have ugly faces like dinos or dinosaurs. Some are good and some are fierce and evil. There are also those people who have bodies like sharks in color but have big eyes. And they are people, not sharks. Their eyes are like Papa's glasses, which are black. They are good beans. I guess they're like these grays." Sorry. I'm probably have to get some water, but I'm going to just finish this up real quick. Recently, subject has a paranoid incident when he showed a picture of reptilian alien. He confessed he is very strangely enough. He remembers this reptilian as a tall, muscular being with 5 fingers and strong nails. And probably a tail, right? maybe not. Okay. Afraid of the picture, he even started crying. Subject also told me he was trained by the Indonesian National Intelligence Agency and the Indonesian Army Special Forces. Sometimes they send him to undercover conflicts, such as Ashi and Timur. Okay, that's it. Why don't you jump in? Did I do good on
Yeah.
that? I'm not too
Yes.
bad,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, initially he didn't want to tell me that he has military training, but later, about months after the first contact, he actually told me that he has military training. So he opened up to me, but still he reject the idea that he is probably a super soldier.
Go ahead and pull this up again. So we went through Mr. X.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one here, and then I'll go run to the kitchen real quick and grab some water. So everybody can see that. Okay, I'll make it bigger, and I'll mute myself. So go ahead, Nugi.
Yes. Uh, the next one is actually Mrs. A. Uh, yeah, she was born in Solo, 1980, into a traditional Javanese family with historical ties to the Javanese royal court. Her father served as a royal guard. Her grandfather served as a royal guard to King Sri Susuhunan Pakubuwana X, and her ancestor is Panembahan Kajoran, was a nobleman and key figure in the Trunojoyo rebellion against Dutch colonial rule. The family was known for spiritual power and mystical experiences, possibly linked to their Japanese royal lineage. Her father was highly respected and had an undisclosed mystical presence, influencing her own experience. So I started asking people about their family background, whether they have military background or royalty background, because I found out this is a common pattern in Indonesia. And Mrs. A also has a royalty ancestor, and she has experiences of UFO encounter and alien encounter, and she also lose her baby twice after the experience. So that make me wonder, okay, whether she is the mother of a hybrid, maybe lab experiment. And Mrs. A also uh, she is followed by uh, military individuals, intelligence, Indonesian Air Force military individual from her teenage. Uh, One guy come and he look military. You can tell the posture, yeah, for military people. Yeah, usually has athletic posture, and the haircut is has a small haircut. And initially, he wanted to recruit her to martial art education, but she rejected. But since that time, uh, she was shadowed by intelligence military officer. So this is also interesting because she actually has alien and UFO experience and was followed by Indonesian military officer. She also has psychic power. So that's my other question. Usually, do you have strange memories, strange experience? Do you have psychic power? So she can actually uh, contacted her father when she was working in Kalimantan, Borneo. She contacted her father in Java Island through dreams, and this is a pattern that regularly occurring in my experience interviewing all of these experiences. And she also gave me a lot of information regarding the reptilian encounter in Kalimantan, because Stephen Chua encounter reptilians in Kalimantan. So I asked her about that, and she actually told me that there are not just one species, there are multiple species of reptilians in Kalimantan. There are the one who live inside the river, in the river, and uh, there are the one who live in the dense jungle. So that there is a Indonesian folklore about reptilian species, I think. Okay.
Okay, sorry if I was flipping through this. I was trying to find where you said the reptilian, but I guess it's probably in this other report. Do you want to go through
Yes.
this? So in college, oh yeah, you said that one.
Yes. Yeah.
Somebody said they knew her personal details about her.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. She actually come to meet me. I'm in Jakarta, right? So she
yeah.
actually, when she was in a vacation or a business trip to Jakarta, she actually come to meet me and told me these stories.
Okay, great. So I'm going to pull up Anna's report here, or story. Okay, and I apologize earlier for coughing. Okay. So we had actually a cold late spring, and then all of a sudden we got about
Hmm.
8 inches of rain, and the combination of both with warm weather meant that everything started to flower and burst into growth. So, and outside we have like there's like a coating of like this green yellowish pollen on everything. It's awful, but anyway. Well, yes, it
Yeah.
is part of nature. So I was born solo in 1980. My Oh wait, you guys can't see this, can you? Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna have to fix that. Just give me a moment. Okay, this is what it means to be a one-man band over here, as they say. Okay, I was born solo in 1980. My family is traditional Javanese family, so it's more or less close to the supernatural world. There were incidents before and after I was born that until now cannot be explained. A few months before I was born, my older brother always saw a small black shadow, like a child, always running around in the house. His movements were like a fast shadow that flashed and always tried to approach my mother, who was pregnant at that time. After I was born, when I was 3 months old, I was found sleeping on the floor hugging a large bolster, even though the bed at that time was high and did not allow a 3-month-old baby to get down by himself or fall because there were no wounds and he did not cry. At that time, my parents' room was also in the inner part of the house, so it was impossible for other people to enter. At the age of 5, almost every night, I felt like I was dreaming or playing around the house, even though I should have been sleeping. Around the age of entering elementary school, the experience was even broader, but not only around the house, but outside the house, around the village, and meeting old people and children who were playing, and strangely, they did not communicate with sounds from their mouths, but through their minds. There was also a time far away around the 15th, 16th century. I met someone who was meditating in a place in front of the house. So I'm guessing this is a dream, Nugi, because she's
Yes, yes, it's a dream. It's a dream.
okay. And then he looked at it, said, chased her away, said, "Go away, you don't belong here." Okay. Nugi, go ahead. Why don't you go ahead and mute yourself? Still got
Okay. Okay.
this one is actually 3 pages. So yeah. So we're gonna get through this. Okay. So when I started junior high school, started with some new experiences. Although in the same way as when I was little, one night I dreamed that I was being chased by a group of people I didn't know. The place was along a road in front of my house. I ran from the west towards the house, jumped over a fairly high fence, then entered the yard through the side of the house that ended in the back garden. I climbed a tree, and it turned out that there were already 3 other children on the tree who coded me, who I guess messaged me to be quiet and not move. While the people were under the tree busy looking for me, the story ended there. The next morning, when I was wearing socks, I found my feet scratched, which hurt. So this sounds like a cover memory, Nugi. I found my feet scratched, which hurts on the inside of my ankle. I remember not doing anything that made my feet scratched. I remember that dream was because of that dream. I tried to check the front fence and back fence of the house. The back fence of the house was fitted with barbed wire. So if I dared to climb that tree there, I would definitely get hurt because of the barbed wire. This dream happened repeatedly. I don't know whether those people were chasing me because of the things I was carrying or whether they were chasing me because I had stolen something from them. When I entered high school, the dreams came again. Several times I was in a place that I never knew. I was in an old building, like an abandoned castle with many traces of battle and metal machinery. I was on top of the building, looking around at the leaves of pale green plants with small leaves, and several times I fell from the building. Being in a tower which was located on a steep cliff overlooking the open sea. The tower was very high, with lots of stairs that had to be climbed. Then I jumped, or rather fell, into the sea and dived. Several times I've entered a large abandoned iron bridge construction, crawled and jumped on several iron bars that was still there, and when at the end of the bridge, I seemed to be aiming at something behind the trees with my gun. And this really stuck in my memory because several times I realized that it was not the first time I was there. In my heart, I said, "Why am I in this place again?" Entering a room that has many corridors and branches where on one side there are rooms and the other side is like a window glass or panels. I call it a labyrinth. At the end of the room, there's a larger room where several corridors meet. At that time, I ran to the room at the end because it seemed like there was an emergency. When I arrived at the room, it seemed like the atmosphere was chaotic and full of panic. I saw a bright light and then something pulled my body towards the light. But then I was thrown again, so I fell to the floor. It seemed like I was injured. I'd once drowned or was submerged in deep, very cold river, so that now if I touch very cold water, I remember that incident and got into a narrow place like a coffin. So I think these were all dreams, right? Yeah, dreams. Okay. Adulthood. In 2008, I was accepted to work at a company in Jakarta. So I moved to Jakarta City. I lived in the Utan Kayu area east of Jakarta, or East Jakarta, where I began to feel strange events. In the office, several times sparks came out of my hands, and I could electrocute other people, and sparks occurred when I touched metal objects. This happened for several months. In 2011, I was accepted to work at the forestry company in North Kalimantan. So I moved from Jakarta to North Kalimantan, precisely in the Malanu Regency. In 2015, a strange incident occurred. One night, around the middle of the year, I was taken by a gray to a shining oval hole near the soccer field near my house. When I woke up in the morning, my body felt very heavy and very tired, and on the inside of my right arm there was a bruise-like mark, but it was circular and had a black dot, like a needle mark. This happened again a few months later and caused the same mark in a different place. The first place was on the front thigh of the right leg, and the second was on the inside of the left thigh. At the end of this year, I also had my second miscarriage. Whether it was related to this or not, I don't know, because the incidents between them two were close to each other. After this incident, my cell phone signal was often disturbed when I used it. He said um, my phone sounded like it was ringing loudly. And this incident happened again in 2022 after I experienced missing time at a hotel in Tarakan City. Until now, electronic goods or cell phone signals are often disturbed when I use them. Meeting a stranger who I don't know and is suspicious, I feel like I was followed and watched. In 1999, when I started college, suddenly someone came to my mother and said he wanted to invite me to join into a martial arts club. My mother refused because she didn't know who the person was, even though he claimed he was her younger sibling's friend, etc. Strangely, I've seen this person on campus. He just passed by in a car. And at that time, several times at home, I got a call from someone we didn't know. And he talked a lot about my activities that day. The phone always rang around 10 p.m. I even unplugged the phone so as not to be disturbed. In 2007, I went home from Lampung to Solo by bus. On the bus, I met a person next to me who claimed to be from Mauspati, the Iswan Yundi Air Force Base. I asked him if he was a pilot. He said no, but he worked in his office. This person was very friendly and seemed to know and recognize me. In 2011, I applied for a job at a local government bank in East Kalimantan. There were several processes that I had to go through, so several times I had to fly from Jakarta to Balikpapan and then continue overland to Samarinda. I was confused about returning to Balikpapan because I didn't know the means of transportation there. I met someone in the hotel lobby who offered to take me to Balikpapan, and I also offered to pick me up if I wanted to go to Salamandran again. Something I just found out recently, that is that one of the hotels I stayed at was very close to military offices. And the person once said to me when he was standing near the window, "Do you feel safe living here?" A very strange question for me. And the next day, he moved my room from the original third floor with a window facing the street down to the second floor, with a window facing the residence gardens. This person seemed to know a lot about me. So, on my father's side, my grandfather was one of the four guards of King Sri Unanan Paku Buwanan X, or the 10th, I guess, at Kraton Surakarata Hadingrat from 1893 to 1939. My ancestors was goodness gracious. I'm going to get this, guys. Hold on. Pinimbanam Kajran, one of the figures of the Torono Joyo rebellion in the 16th century. My father was a respected person in our neighborhood. My mother had an experience of seeing a UFO when she was a child. In 1966, my mother saw a large orange yellow light like a ball in the middle of a rice field. My mother also told me she was once visited by a pair of creatures who spoke an upside-down Indonesian. But the gist of it was that the creature said, "If your child is there, it's okay. He's fine." Okay. All right. Okay, Nugy, go ahead. You take it over from here.
Okay, thank you, James. Yes, Mrs. A is actually the second person that make me believe that there is something going on in Indonesia related to the alien and UFO experience. And the Indonesian military seems to be involved somehow. Maybe there is a secret group that is operating secretly to monitor all of the alien or UFO experiencer. And strangely, it is also related uh, to the person's background. Usually, when somebody see a UFO, their parent also has the same experience. And actually, uh, the experience of Mrs. A is actually not uh, uh, a unique experience. I detected this in many experiences, but not many of them want to go public. See? So beside her, I also encounter another person who actually has similar experience. They have their relatives seeing UFO, experience alien contact, then also have psychic experience. So this is actually the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, James.
Great, thank you. So we have, let's go look at this slide here, the experiencer survey. So tell us what's going on with this.
Yes, this is the survey that I usually give to the alien experiencer. So whether they have missing time or blackout, okay, whether they have memory loss, strange dreams, strange memory, strange mark bruises, strange childhood experience, whether they have UFO alien encounter, their their IQ, whether they seems to be intelligent or not, whether they have multiple personality, mysterious combat skills, whether they are an empath, animal lover, high talent, interest in art, have extrasensory perception, psychic strange power, electrostatic discharge, military, royal family, ancestor, alien UFO experiencer in the family, interested in the UFO phenomena and like stargazing. And about 80% of the responder uh, give me a pattern. Yeah. So this is what we usually detected in Indonesia, but I think this probably globally is maybe more or less the same.
Oh, wow, okay. Let's go on here, next slide. So tell us, what's this about?
Yes, this is related to the Disclosure 2.0 uh, organized by Dr. Stephen Greer in the 12th of June 2023. So when he was presenting, he stated that the US has more than 100 secret base. Then uh, he based this finding based on about 700 whistleblowers, and one of the base is in Padang, West Sumatra, Indonesia. So we can actually see inside the presentation when you zoom in, there is this number 1110 Padang, Indonesia, right, in the red box. So in the next presentation in the event,
Wait, hold on.
Michael
Nugi,
Herrera, yes,
Nugi, can you
yes,
tell us what's going on at that base? Any ideas?
uh, uh, there is a U.S. secret operation. Uh, they have this ARV, Alien Reconstruct, Reconstruction Vehicle. So basically, it's a UFO, but US UFO operating in Padang, West Sumatra, Indonesia. Yes, and in the next slide, there is this guy, this U.S. Marine called Michael Herrera. He actually saw one of the UFO. Okay, and the UFO is guarded by strange people with military gears, and their accent is American accent. So Michael Herrera thought that this is U.S. secret special forces. And on the 24th January of 2025, in the News Nation interview, Herosquad interviewed Jake Barber, and basically Jake Barber is stating that the United States secretly recruiting psionics from Indonesia. Psionics is somebody who have psychic powers, right? So uh, there is this U.S. operation secretly in Indonesia recruiting psionics, and the psionics is used to take down UFO. So they bait the UFO with their power. Okay, if UFO come to the ground, then they take down the UFO, then retrieve the technology inside the UFO. This is basically what he is saying to Ross Coulthard. So the operation is in Indonesia. That's my point.
Okay, so other experiences. Go ahead.
Yes, other experience. So actually, uh, I also want to present my own experience. Yeah, I am Nugi. So the other one is Stella and Mrs. L or Mrs. K and Mr. W. Yeah. Uh, if I haven't read the your I haven't see the your YouTube channel, James, I wouldn't have these uh, assumptions or thinking, right? I start thinking about my experience. So from my early childhood, at the age of 4, I had these recurring nightmares. So the nightmares is involving clown. Somehow, when I am in a dream, I am very afraid of this clown, but not when in real life. In real life, I'm not afraid of clown, but in these dreams, I'm very afraid of these clowns. So these clowns will appear at night in my dreams. But after several times, because my reaction is I was very afraid, then the character changes from clown to TV characters, right? So uh, from a TV show that I am very familiar, this nice character actually spoke to me. You are with us now. You are safe. This occurred a few times. Then I also have a possible UFO sighting, uh, but I dream about it when I was in adult. Then also when I was 11, after seeing uh, French television, because at that time our family live in Paris, France. That trigger first that trigger me to dream about Mars. Somehow I know that this place is Mars, and I am inside an underground railroad, so underground train in Mars with my mother on the bedroom, and myself looking at the window, and the sky is red. And as I somehow know this is Mars. The dream is very frightening because it's like a doomsday in Mars. Then after that, several times I dream of a planet explode. Uh, at that time I haven't watched Star Wars. Star Wars, the New Hope, because I haven't watched that. Then I only know that there is a scene of planet explode in in Star Wars at the age of about 13 or 14. At age 11, I dream about this planetary destruction is so terrifying. I woke up with a cold sweat, very frightened, and this happened a few times. Then I actually read about these scientific theories from the late Van Vlaanderen. He's a senior astronomer that in the past there is a planet who explode between Mars and Jupiter. And strangely, I also dream multiple times of seeing the planet Jupiter with my own eyes. I don't have a spaceship or whatsoever, so I dream seeing the planet Jupiter up close. And also, I dream of seeing planets, sometimes dark planet with city light, but there is readings. In the dream. I can see readings like heads-up display in a fighter plane. And but 5 years, 4 years ago, somehow I dream uh, seeing hyperspace effect multiple times, and I can actually see and actually feel the hyperspace effect on my body. I think maybe if I am inside this secret space program, maybe my DNA has been used for specific biotech module. This is just a hypothesis for me. And also I also have dream being inside a triangular spaceship with my father, my mother, my sister during my high school year. The spaceship actually travel inside the Earth atmosphere in broad daylight, but the interior is not like Star Trek with modern look. The interior of the spaceship is more like a classic submarine, so it's not like a modern uh, spacecraft. And I also have many strange experience like uh, here in Indonesia, there are crimes using hypnosis, and that one hypnosis cannot work with me. More than twice, somebody tried to hypnotize me, and it doesn't work. And also, people using black magic to me doesn't work also. Okay, I experienced that a few times. Uh, Light explode twice. Uh, my TV in my house explode twice. And the most strange thing is when I was in college, somehow my grade is not that good, and I'm very frustrated, angry, and sad at the same time. And at that time, I live in a rented house in Bandung, West Java. Then when I look at uh, there is a wall in the back of the rented house. The wall is about 10 meters long, 2 meters height. When I look at the wall suddenly explode. I cannot explain what happened. And a few nights after that, I dream about this frog-like alien chasing me in the house. Before that, about 1 year before, I have this strange experience. I woke up in the morning. Yeah, at that time, I rent a room in another house. Then, when I woke up, I see a frog. When you woke up, you see a frog. Then somehow I didn't bother the frog. I fell asleep again. Yeah, that one is so strange. Maybe the frog is the alien disguising itself as a frog. I don't know. Okay, maybe that's all about me, James.
Okay, yes, thank you. I'm thinking maybe perhaps you have a clone body in the secret space program, and that clone works with this frog-like humanoid beings, and your memories are going on the triangular shaped craft. Very likely this, or it could even be a parallel reality timeline. So a lot of these bleed throughs, it's hard to understand which is what, because we're very multidimensional beings. Who we are is not just us in the physical, but there's more than just us out there. But thank you for that, Sharon Nugy. So I do have your PDF write up. It is probably too many pages, I would say, to read this right now. 15 pages. So what I'll do is I'll put a link to this, and then you can read Nugi's story, because we still got some more stories to share.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Yes. So go ahead. Why don't you share about Stella? Then I'll read Stella's story. Go ahead.
Okay, Stella, actually, we met about 2 years ago. There is a gathering in Jakarta. Uh, Actually, before the gathering, somebody patched me with Stella. Actually, there is another member of the Beta Flu community who asked Stella to come to contact me. And at that time, I didn't know anything about her. Okay, but after the group gathering, uh, she actually opened up, and actually, she has a lot of stories. Uh, she is a Chinese Indonesian descent. Her paternal grandfather was from China. Her father grew up in communist China. Her father is actually a brilliant engineer. He patented some technology. She was abused from early childhood. Then she also has a very high interest on history. Yeah. She possesses a sharp memory. Since childhood, she felt physically weaker than her family member, and she has several illness. Uh, she actually said to me that she has the ability to deflect black magic. Yeah. Then when emotionally stressed, she experienced electrical anomalies, causing objects around her to drop suddenly. She had vision and can see entities by closing her eyes. And actually, she has a brother, and the brother uh, also has strange experience. And also, her mother uh, has strange experience also. She also told me that she encountered this Nordic figure, uh, more like Dark Fleet officer, and also she remember being tortured, sexually tortured. Then I suddenly remember the experience of a lot of the super soldier, especially Penny Bradley, where they tortured her to break her personality into multiple personality. That when I told her that you are probably uh, a super soldier in the secret space program, because previously she went to a lot of physician, a lot of uh, psychological doctor asking about her symptoms, and sometimes she is very frustrated because she didn't know what happened to her. I think that's the summary about Stella, James.
Hey, so do you want to go through this last slide, or should we just? You want me to just pull up Stella's?
Just pull up the PDF.
Okay. Yes, I got it right here. Give me a moment. We'll switch this over and pull this up. Very good. Okay. So everybody, how's my narration? Am I going too fast, or somebody? I know somebody mentioned I was going too fast, but now I could go slower, but I don't want to necessarily be here for a couple hours. But I'll do my best. So let's just push on through here. Okay. Hello, my name is Stella. I'm of Chinese Indonesian descent. A little background on my family. My paternal grandfather is from China, and my father was raised in China when it was still under communist ideology in the 1950s. This probably influenced my father's parenting style towards his children. Since I was little, I was interested in history and conspiracy theories and spent more time on books than hanging out with other kids. Later, I was also interested in Tartarian, alternative type of histories. I have a sharp memory remembering some forgotten details of childhood experiences. Having PTSD because after I was 5 years old, I started experiencing abusive behavior from my father in the form of continuous verbal and mental attacks. The reason I mention this abused behavior is because in my childhood, I became less focused on something that was beyond common sense. Maybe because I was distracted. I considered myself a failed and troubled child, but my brain also realized strangeness that was unexplained by common sense. The interesting thing is, memories of many strange events often appear, like having many lives that make the body and mind easily tired, even though they haven't done anything extreme. This is exasperated by memories of torture that come from nowhere, what is known later as part of the formation of a split personality in a super soldier. Since I was little, my body was weak compared to other family members. The different body condition often bothered me, even though it was not a serious illness, such as strange toenail shapes to a body that was not suited to hot weather. I'm an empath, more of a mirror empath, where people will be genuine by showing me a bit of their dark side, in some cases within seconds of meeting. This is what is used to make me depressed. This used to make me depressed when I was younger. I also have strong analytical skills. It seems I can deflect back black magic. I only realized this recently when I visited my relatives and when my father was suspected of being attacked by black magic. When emotionally and mentally stressed, it sometimes causes electrical anomaly and usually causes objects around to be dropped suddenly. I can see entities or visions by closing my eyes, so it's like watching TV with a very dim screen. But this is only on certain occasions. Some things I remember are, according to my parents' story, when I was little, I rarely cried and was never afraid of being ejected. I actually saw how the injection went into my skin to hold back the pain. When I was little, I accidentally touched a hot electric soldering iron, but my hand only felt sore and red, but it got better shortly after. When I was little, I had a memory of being in kind of a laboratory, naked with other children, and when I looked down, I saw that I didn't have a belly button. Uh-oh, that means you're a clone. Nugy, that's what they said. Some of these clones don't have belly buttons. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. When I was still in elementary school, a teenager, I had a memory of being pregnant several times, even though I never even had sex with anyone. I even had a vision of seeing green skinned people, little green men, several times at home when I was a child. Having an interest in ancient Egypt, as if having memories of living in that era. This was confirmed a few years later by a Beta UFO member named Lintang, who said that my reincarnation was a brown-skinned ancient Egyptian woman who worked in an ancient library. Memory of being a spy who also explored many countries, especially snowy places. In reality, I have never visited a European country or Russia. Often feel time skipped. Sometimes it feels like the situation around me slows down for a moment, then returns to normal. Like seeing some kind of glitch in the corner of the room, even though it's only for a moment. Have you ever heard strange sounds in your ears, like a woman singing, even though there was no one around? How about a memory of work? I had a memory of working under a reptilian-like entity, bringing him several women to rape. Dreaming of fighting on a battlefield, having the ability to fight and hold heavy weapons. I have a memory of being a bodyguard for famous artists and several politicians. I have a dream of riding a submarine but instead of diving under the sea, you fly, like in Solar Warden. There is a memory of being trained by people in military uniforms to be transformed into a bird animal. In my memory, I became the White Phoenix. I remember swimming in a special suit in the sea like Aquaman. There was also a strange memory that came up when I was little, when I was 2 or 3 years old, following a man into a portal in my room in my childhood home. After discussing it with Mr. Nugy, it was possible that he was a time cop. Having an interest in games like Silent Hill, some seems to be familiar with things that smell of Satanism, alternate dimensions, and also Cabal and SCP. I'm not sure what that one is. Nugi, do you remember what? Oh, I know what it is, but do you remember what it's
Yeah,
SCP?
yeah.
Do you remember what SCP means?
SCP.
Yeah, it's like a report. It's like this science fiction type reports.
Yes,
Somebody in the
yes,
chat
yes.
probably knows what it is. Okay. Uh, that's probably a very good thing because I think some of those SCPs are actual disclosures. But there was a vision of seeing human corpses cut into pieces and piled up. I remember being in a starship with views of the moon and also the planet Jupiter. I dreamed of being in a place where a military group entered some kind of plane with a strange but beautiful decorations. There was a giant stingray flying inside, either a statue or a hologram. There was a ladder leading up and a glimpse of a memory. Above the ladder, there was an alien waiting for us at the top, possibly aquatic. I really like the history of the Nazis and Hitler. I often dream of being in a human colony similar to in the film Alien Romulus. Hey, maybe just mute yourself. I'm almost done, but Nugi, thank you. I'm
Yes.
familiar with Umbrella Corp, Mobius from the game Evil Within. I also remember being oh gosh, I'm saying so many words. It's probably going to get this video flag, but I think we can probably say, since I already said it, sex slave, right? For humans and humans with strange faces. I remember having a lover who was a fellow super soldier in the Yakuza. I have memories and dreams that are linked to each other with several beta UFO members who are suspected of being super soldiers. There was a Western guy who said a keyword, so I experienced a blackout and then beat and killed someone. Ever had a dream where someone was looking closely at your face? By an entity with a strange face, gray, until you woke up from your sleep. Vision is in a hospital bed, struggling violently. There are 4 people there holding him down, all of them strangers. Ever had a dream about being operated on and having something inserted in your body by an unknown person? A doctor, and he was a stranger. When I was a teenager, I also had memories of being a singer and dancer in front of many military leaders. Okay. There you have it. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Nugi. I'll pull up the part.
Yeah. Stella is very interesting because she actually uh, not just her, but her brother also has the same, uh, probably has the same experience with her. So usually it's not just one, maybe the siblings also has the same experience, and maybe her father and mother also is inside the secret space program. I initially suspect that she is in the Chinese secret space program, right? The Honglong secret space program, but later it is probably the Dark Fleet. Maybe she's inside Dark Fleet.
Thank you. All right. Let's go on to Mrs. L's story here. Pull this one up real quick. Go to this. Just a moment. And here we go. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Mute myself.
Mrs. L. Yeah, Mrs. L. Is very interesting. She was born in Dili, Timor-Leste in November 1990, moved to Central Java in 1999 after Timor-Leste independence. As a child, she could see human aura and invisible beings. Her aura vision revealed various colors representing energy from living cells. Each aura color corresponds to specific personality traits and organ areas. Her dominant aura color is purplish blue indigo, linked to her abilities. strange dream. From a young age, he had recurring dream of exploding planet, futuristic cities, advanced aircraft, desert with unusual skies. Uh, Her parents dismissed the dream as just a dream. And she is also super psychic. I usually use her to scan so she can actually do a remote viewing. I sometimes use her for scanning in some of the Indonesian UFO folklore cases. And uh, yeah, she is very psychic. I first met her about 2 years ago when we have a gathering in Jakarta. So this group is actually formed about 2 years ago. This is just recently. Okay, maybe that's it about Mrs. L. James.
Yeah, sorry. I have to click a bunch of screens to talk to you. Say that again, Nugi. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. Uh, Maybe you can read the PDF.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh okay, give me a moment. My computer is not responding. Hello, computer. Please respond. There we go. Latang. Got it. Give me a moment. Pull this one up. And we'll get right into it. Oh, I think maybe if I scroll up, it might help. Okay. Can everybody see this? There we go. Great. Okay, thank you. So let's pull. So we have Meeting with Humanoid Aliens, the story of Lintang. My name is Lintang Rinastidi. I was born in Dili, Timor-Leste, in November of 1990. In 1999, my family and I returned to Java because Timor-Leste was separated from Indonesia. Then we lived in central Java in the Marangan Dimak area. Since I was little, I felt that I was different. I could see the colors of human auras and other living things, although the visions sometimes appeared and sometimes disappeared. My mother realized something was wrong when I was a toddler, namely when I colored people with colors around my body. My mother asked, "Why is the color around the body? You should have colored the clothes." And I replied, there is color around people's body, Mom, right? You saw it too, right? The colors look like layers of light. There are various colors, but each person has one dominant color with a different pattern. When I was an adult, I just found out that I was an aura with an electromagnetic wave emitted by the activity of living cells. All living things have an aura, including plants. When the creature dies, the aura disappears because there is no more cell activity. Aura radiation can weaken or strengthen depending on the health because it is related to cell energy. Each organ also emits a different color. For example, in the chest area, the color is green, while in the stomach, it is yellow. Human characteristics can vary depending on the dominant color in their aura. For example, a person who has a dominant color of a dominant color of soft purple is a person who is a servant, sincere, but easily hesitant and moody. That's actually not me, by the way, Nugi. I'm purple and gold. In addition to seeing aura colors, since childhood, I've been able to see invisible creatures. Some are scary, many are similar to humans. People say that I'm an indigo child. What I see, my dominant colors are pastel colors with a purplish blue indigo pattern on the face and head area. My weirdness didn't stop there. Since I was a little, kindergarten age to early elementary school age, I often dreamed about strange things, about planet exploding, futuristic cities, similar to Coruscant in Star Wars, uniquely shaped advanced aircraft, a desert with an eerie reddish sky, desert with a completely black sky, stars feel closer and shine brighter. At that time, my parents were convinced that I just had an extraordinary imagination that carried me into dreams. The problem was with the dreams were frequent and intense. My Nordic alien encounter. This incident happened in 2001 when I was in the 5th grade. That afternoon, I came home after playing with my friends. In the alley in front of our house in Morangan, I saw a light like a plane light, but it was a bit slow and flying a bit low. The light was going back and forth in the area, and I thought there was nothing strange, so I went home. A few days later, while sleeping at night, I noticed a bright light coming from outside the bedroom window. There was also a buzzing sound like a problem with the sound system. Out of curiosity, I went out through the window. Our house is only one story, and the windows are quite low, so they are easy to get through. When I arrived at the yard, I saw two Caucasians, a man and a woman, 2 meters tall in blue uniforms. Both had silver hair, while the woman had waist-length hair. Their skin was like the skin of Caucasians in general, with a pinkish tinge. What was unique was that their ears were rather pointed, like the elves in the Lord of the Rings movie. The light was so bright that I closed my eyes. When I opened them, I was in a room that looked like a medical room, with equipment that looked like an MRI scanner, but more sophisticated and compact. There was a man in a metallic suit who did the scan. After the scan, my head was attached to cables, and then the cables were connected to a monitor. There was an electric sensation at that time, but I couldn't fight it. After that, they took my blood sample. Then I was taken to a room full of monitors, which I called the data center room. The monitors in the room were so foreign because they used touchscreen technology, which was not common in 2001. I saw on the monitor the landscape of Earth and other planets. There were about 20 people in the room, all with serious faces. I think they could telepathically communicate together because one of them called his friend without making a sound. They conversed silently. But there are also those who open their mouths and speak. Their language sounded foreign, unlike any language on Earth. Sounds similar to like skh, shla, klosh, and with a flat intonation. Not many up and down intonations. In the room I visited, there was a metallic smell. There was a smell of ammonia in one of the rooms. The hallway I passed was plain white with an epoxy-like floor, like those in factories. I was also taken out of the building. The situation at that time was night with an indigo blue sky and stars that looked brighter and bigger. Apparently, the building I visited was an observatory because there was a large telescope. The land around the building was reddish-yellow without any plants at all. They took me home through the hallway until I came to a room of bright lights. When I passed through the bright light, I closed my eyes. When I opened my eyes, I was already in my room. I felt it was too real to be a dream because there were needle marks in the crook of my arm. Where is that? Okay. Nugy. Well, so I keep reading. And my head was so dizzy that I couldn't go to school in the morning. They still visited me in 2004, 2012, and 2023. On other visits, when I was an adult, I was shown even more horrific things. One of them was fetuses in tubes filled with amniotic fluid, like amniotic liquid. Okay, I don't know what species they are, but they are definitely fetuses. In July 2023, I went to the Jakarta Fair with my husband and 2 friends. We saw a strange foreign object light at that time, green, red in color, and it hovered quite a while above the Grand Palace Kemenorian apartment. The Grand Palace Kemenorian apartment. After hovering for quite a while, the light shot away. At first, we thought it was a drone, but it flew too fast and at an incredible height. My husband and 2 friends just saw an object like that for the first time, and they started to believe in UFOs. I had the chance to tell the story in the WhatsApp Beta UFO Jabdo Delta Beck group, complete with videos and photos. At that time, the group members who responded to my story were divided into 2 camps. Some believed it was UFOs, and some just thought it was a drone. Uniquely, after I told my story in the WhatsApp group, I had a dream. The figure of 2 women in white robes warned me, "Don't talk about what you saw or you will regret it." To be honest, I was a little scared to receive such a warning. Will it affect my child? On July 9th of 2024, my first child was born. My daughter, Serena, was born with a very low birth weight, at 39 weeks of pregnancy, weighing only 2,035 grams. Isn't it like about 450 grams in a pound? Something like, okay. It's not known why the blood flow to my placenta during pregnancy was not a problem. Despite her small size, Serena grew up healthy. People who visited our child always said, Serena is a smart baby. She is only a few days old, but she acts like a baby who is several months old. When he was 2 months old, he was already babbling and understanding what we were saying. He could respond and answer with babbling sounds. There was one incident that made me even more worried. On September 24 of 2024, Serena cried nonstop since noon. I thought she had colic. It was very different. It was very difficult to calm her down. I was so tired that I fell asleep. In the evening, my husband came home, found me lying on the floor, and Serena was still crying. I felt like I just fell asleep, but my husband thought I fainted. I dreamed about two women in white robes who said, Your baby is different from other babies. I'm very afraid that they are bothering my child or that my child's condition is related to them. Okay, there we go. And I apologize if I got the grams off. I'm gonna go check up on that because I think it might have, isn't it 220 grams? I'm gonna have to go with that one.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay, James. You're good, doing good.
I was actually really close. It was 453 grams per pound. So okay, I know it's somewhere like that. All right, great, everybody. So let's go to. We have a few, like I think maybe one or two more. So let me pull this one up again. We've gone through Mrs. L's story, so let's go to Mrs. K. All right.
Okay, Mrs. K story. We we actually met about 2 years ago. So she is actually a new member of Beta UFO. And at that time, when I first met her, I know there is something in her. Uh, she was very energetic. She was very enthusiastic about telling her UFO story. At that time, she never mentioned about any of her strange experience. But even at that time, some of our member already detected that she is special. So Mrs. K was born in 1992, demonstrated a high IQ during childhood, began speaking at just 1 year old. She comes from a family with paranormal connection. Her grandfather, father's side, and father both have psychic abilities. Her grandfather was allegedly abducted for a week by the Bunyan people. This is the little people, a supernatural race in Indonesian folklore in West Sumatra. Uh, she has a 5-year-old son who has ADHD, passionate about music, uh, acting, and learning foreign language. From age 1 to 4, she insisted on being called Rooney instead of her original name. So maybe she has a past life memory or other suppressed memory. At age 6, she and her father witnesses 5 UFO flying in a V formation near their house. This is the story that she told me in our community gathering. Experienced sleepwalking from the age of 10 to 12, sometimes with wide open eyes. Always had a strong interest in supernatural topics, but not necessarily ghosts. Feels an unusual connection to the Native American culture, despite no known ancestry. At some point, she developed two small unexplained marks on her upper right arm, resembling vaccine shot scar. She had suffered from dental problems, frequent migraine, and a hunchback, as if she is carrying a heavy burden. Despite never contracting COVID, she recovered quickly from illness, and even after C-section, her uterus returned to normal in just 1 month. She learned Indonesian martial art, Merpati Putih, or white pigeon. Uh, Basically, I also learned this martial art. So some of us has the same experience, and I also has the this dental problem because sometimes we share our experience inside our specific groups.
Hmm.
Yeah, can you go to the next slide, James?
Oh, I thought I did.
Yeah,
You want me to go to the next one after this?
yeah, next slide.
Military caddy trading. We have
Yeah,
fine. Okay. And by the way, you can't say that that V word. You can say something like a medical procedure. Oh, this is ridiculous. Just be creative.
okay,
Go ahead.
yes. And she also has this friend. Actually, she linked me to three other person. The other one is Mr. W. Mr. W is a friend, is a boyfriend of her childhood friend, uh, Miss Miss C. So she has a childhood friend called Miss C, who has a boyfriend called Mr. W. And about 2 years ago, they come to our gathering, and at first, so this is actually telling the story about Mr. W. At first, he also she didn't tell me story about UFO or aliens. Just told me story about her his brother, and he and his brother sometimes going blackout. So sometimes they were on this car, then they blackout, then they are on another location. And yeah, so Miss K actually has close relation with the other person in the presentation,
Oh wow.
Mr. W. So all of these guys somehow is related, I think.
Hmm.
Okay, maybe that's it about Miss K. Can you read the PDF now, James?
Sure. All right. Give me a. Oh, me up. Uh, what's this? Oh, Karina's story. Okay. Yes, got it. All right. Share my screen. All right. Karina was born in 1992. Her grandfather on her mother's side was in the Indonesian Navy. The grandfather on her father's side has psychic abilities. Grandfather was abducted for a week by the Bunny people in West Sumatra. High IQ during the childhood, 136, and started talking at the age of 1. Her hobbies include music, singing, and songwriting, acting, was in college theater club, and some Indonesian soap dramas during teenage years, learning foreign languages. She has a 5-year-old son who has ADHD. Um, I call myself with different names, Rooney instead of Karina. My father and I saw 5 UFOs when I was 6. The UFOs were making a V formation not too far away from our house. My father remembers the moment clearly, but that time I didn't really think too much about it. I used to sleepwalk when I was 10 to 12 years old, sometimes with my eyes wide open. I've always been interested in supernatural things, but not necessarily about ghosts, since I was a kid, so I felt a connection to Native American culture. Recently, I had 2 marks that seemed like a little birthmarks that didn't exist before. 2 dots located in my upper right arm, where people usually get something we're not allowed to talk about here on YouTube. I have a terrible dental health, frequent migraines, and slightly hunchback posture, like I've always carried a heavy burden around my back and shoulders. I've never gotten COVID. Oh, shoot. Let's just say, pretend I didn't say that. Tendency to recover quickly. The OB/GYN told me my uterus had returned to its original state and size within a month after a C section. I learned an Indonesian martial art called Merpati Putih, the White Dove, when I was in junior high school. It was one of the best students from the batch. I've always felt like learning martial arts is natural to me. It all began when I was 12. There where me and my whole family experienced a lot of paranormal activities at home. I started seeing ghosts a little clearer than I used to during my childhood. My parents contacted 5 different psychics who could help us with the whole ghost appearances, physical, malicious, amulet things buried in the front yard, etc. They all said the same thing. I could see the supernatural entities, and I would be the one protecting my family with my power. At 12, I had a dream where I was looking at a few spacecrafts in a war flying low, with the dune and barren mountains surrounding me. Before that, I wasn't into sci fi movies. I started watching sci fi movies after that dream, and Star Wars, especially Tatooine, have always felt weirdly familiar to me since then. I started to sharpen my skills in remote viewing and astral projection during those years from when I was 12 to 15. Throughout these years, I was being accompanied by interdimensional entities with a by a interdimensional entity, strong energy. At first, he looked like a Aryan-looking man in a black robe, less than 6 feet tall. But lately, this entity is still accompanying me until now, and I just realized his Aryan look is just a facade. His real appearance is a 7-foot tall white Draco. This entity sometimes changed itself into a physical form in the form of a lizard. The lizard would stand in front of my bedroom without moving all night, and when people tried to scare it away, it would move really slow. My father once tried to catch it, and it just disappeared. In March of 2023, I joined Beta UFO Indonesia ever so suddenly without knowing anybody from the community. Basically, I didn't know what I was jumping into. After the first meeting with the members of Beta UFO Indonesia, I started having more vivid dreams, which then I consulted with Nugy. In these dreams, I recalled me and when I was 13 to 15 years old, wearing black long sleeve top, long training pants as a uniform, along with other 200 to 300 kids from other races my age. We were separated into groups, moving from class to class, marching without saying a word and talking to our peers. The academy had a very high glass ceiling, and I could see a sigil on flags around the place with a sword standing up and a snake slithering around it. Set in that same academy, I was taught to fly with a reptile dangling on my feet and was told to put my fears away and fly without looking down because I've always been scared of lizards. The training area had a high glass dome. That kind of reminds me maybe of Mars. They have places like that. Okay. Sorry, that was my commentary. I was living in a countryside where I was wearing traditional clothes, and I saw a huge alien mothership landing on the ground, and a white, slim, orc-like alien stormed out of it and started to kill and eat the humans. I was running away from them, and suddenly there was a soldier-like person with black attire, black hood and robe, riding on a motorbike-looking vehicle, trying to grab and save me. I then hop onto the vehicle while looking back at the alien running to get us. We then managed to escape. The soldier had a whole team of them and saved a lot of civilians, took us on board of one of their motherships. Apparently, they brought a lot of other refugees in the mothership. I was sitting in a crisp white room with a set of machines in front of me. There was a military person in his early 50s, slick, black, blonde-haired, who was wearing a Nazi-like black uniform operating the machine. Then he put on a headpiece with wires on my head, and he turned on a pop song that I was familiar with. During the chorus, he would turn up the volume and I would get electrocuted. It happened about 3 times, and I woke up from my sleep during this time. I could still feel the pain in my head and in between my ears when I woke up. The time was 2 a.m. I was in a hall with a really high ceiling filled with people around the world, wearing weird costumes. There was a contest going on, and I was one of the representatives. There was a guy who was keeping tabs on me, a middle-aged white man dressed in suit and tie. He would text me to remind me that he was waiting for me until the contest was finished. I was living in an apartment located in the middle of the city. It was plain with an industrialist style, not too high-tech. I was wearing a black wife beater with black cargo pants, and it gave me the feeling of being off duty. The room I lived in was a 1-bedroom apartment with my own bathroom and kitchen. All the tenants of the apartment were soldiers because they were wearing the same outfit. I had a meeting with 10 other people in the room. I was wearing a soldier field uniform, and when the other participants, who were seen as politicians slash people who worked for the government, were wearing the formal attire. They were all from the white race. I looked older in the dream, like I was in my early 40s. Another dream was me having my tooth drilled by a short Asian lady while I was half asleep. Okay, that's it for Karina. All right. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah, Karina was very interesting. The story of Karina was very interesting, and uh, in our first community gathering, I thought that this is the third super soldier that I found in the community, and after that, she bring two friends, so that leads to Mr. W story. So can you go to Mr. W story? Yeah,
Okay, great. So I can. Let's see here. We got, okay.
yeah. Okay, Mr. W, uh, he didn't write PDF because he has this seizure. So when he got to our second community gathering, he has bruises in his arm. He showed to me his arm is has a bruises wound, blue wound, and when he was focusing on his memory, he sometimes got seizure. Okay, Mr. W story. The first encounter in 1996, he saw a creature that resembled an alien at his uncle's house. The sighting was brief, but the image remained vivid in his memory. When he was in high school, he experienced a strange visual while driving. His vision became glitchy, similar to an old television with static interference, making it difficult to see properly. In 2005, while in Bali, he witnessed an unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP, in the night sky. He managed to capture the event on his handycam, but unfortunately, he later lost the tape, leaving him without any physical evidence of the encounter. Following this event, he had recurring dreams for an entire month. In this dream, he was taught how to fly and how to operate an unidentified spacecraft on a different planet. The experience felt incredibly real, as if he was receiving training for a specific purpose. Around 2022, he had another significant dream in which he was part of a military group stationed on a moon base. The setting was highly structured and organized, resembling a military operation beyond Earth. Within a week of this dream, he encountered a mysterious man dressed in a black suit and wearing black sunglasses. The man had gray hair and approached him directly, saying, "We need you." The man's presence and word left a lasting impression, making him question whether this was just a coincidence or something more significant. Can you go to the next slide, James?
Uh, you mean skip this one, go after this?
Yeah. Oh, next slide.
I thought I did.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, I said here something more significant. Here's the next slide.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So he's got extraordinary martial arts skills beyond human limits.
Yes.
Would you like me to read it?
Yeah. Maybe you
Okay.
can read it.
Okay. Great. Okay. So he has enhanced reflexes, stamina, and endurance as if trained intensely. Um, okay. Often experiences blackouts with missing time and memory gaps. He recalls flashbacks of sterile metallic rooms, starry skies, and non human beings. He gained sudden enhancements in combat strategy and navigation without training. He frequently wakes up with unexplained bruises, scars, or injection marks, possibly from off world procedures or missions. I'm starting to think that this, because I get them too, that it's some kind of drone that's going around doing this. Sometimes experiences unexplained seizures with no medical explanation, possibly linked to neural implants, trauma from suppressed memories, or remote activation. Possible secret space program and Dark Fleet involvement. Likely recruited into the secret space program Super Soldier Initiative, may have been subjected to genetic modifications or cybernetic enhancements. Potentially stationed on the moon, a key SSP and Dark Fleet base. Lunar Operations Command, Lunar Space Command, and now, according to now, it's Valiant Thor says it's a Clarion. So I think there's a lot going on up there. Okay, he served under the Dark Fleet, a breakaway military faction operating in deep space. The Dark Fleet collaborates with non-human entities and remains highly classified. The Dark Fleet soldiers often experience strained bruises, wounds, or scars with no memory of how they got them, possibly from combat experimentation. Roles in the shall I continue? I can keep going, Nugi. Let's see how many more. Okay, that's the last one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just one more slide. Okay. He was assigned to a mothership of the transport type used for personnel and cargo movement. The Dark Fleet specializes in off-road operations, fleet command, and expansion missions. His unit insignia features an octagon with an animated wave linked to his SSP faction. Familiarity with zero-gravity environments suggests off-world deployment experiences. Likely underwent consciousness transfer or cloning for space missions. Strained bruises or marks may indicate medical procedures, memory-wiped combat injuries, or forced neural reprogramming. Influence of a tall gray handler and mind control handled by a tall gray alien responsible for monitoring, training, and controlling him. Tall grays are known for memory suppression and neurological programming. Possible activation through a trigger mode, switching him into combat mode. Evidence of personality compartmentalization, meaning he may have an alter ego for missions, like a sleeper agent, right? Ego. Dark Fleet soldiers often have erased memories only triggered under specific conditions. The bruises could be a result of medical implants, injections, or muscle conditioning treatments. Okay. Nugi, why don't you take over?
Yes, you can see the octagon logo, the H-shape logo.
Oh, is that you
Uh,
mean on the chest?
yeah, that's his unit logo. But he said is animated. The logo has a wave animated, so it's not just like cloth. Is an like maybe electronic animated logo.
And that's projected right on their uniform?
Yes, in the
Huh.
uniform.
Is their uniform like
Uh,
skin Nugi, is their uniform skin tight or is it a loose fitting? Like a form
I
fitting?
think yeah, it's a skin tight uniform, like armor and skin tight uniform.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So he is actually the most prospect super soldier that I analyzed. But the problem when I try to dig inside his memory, then his seizure will be activated. So and that is not good for him. So sometimes I said, you better don't access the WhatsApp group for about a few weeks. Then you take a rest. Then after that, then you go again because uh, I think it will affect his health. Like his body rejected his response to the super soldier phenomenon. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. So everybody has different side effects as a result of the trauma and the torture. Some people just go into mental illness, could take addictions. Some people are able to transmute it. A lot of people just kind of just pull away, and then a lot of people are afraid to come forward and talk. So if his memory walls are he's getting bleed throughs, so that means that a certain alter of his has most likely been programmed to cause what we call hold on a second, omega. Omega is a self-destruct alter. that will get triggered if you start to remember, and it's supposed to lead to suicide, but by becoming aware of this, you can deactivate it, and it doesn't. Yeah, so there's always working around that. Okay, Nugi, you want me to move forward? Is there something you want to say here? With the slide?
Yeah, I personally want to thank you, James, for allowing us to express our experience, because this is very helpful for all of us. Uh, because nobody will believe us, even in the community, right? Not many people will believe our story. So thank you very much.
Certainly, yeah. Well, I mean, we're ahead of our time. Sometimes I wonder why was I even born in this century? But do you ever get that feeling too, Nugi?
Yes, yes, same thing.
But we're here, and we're going to make the best of it. So here we are, and in the future, this type of information will be more and more mainstream. Eventually, it'll be like the mainstream information, and you're gonna find about the secret space program right on live TV. But until then, we're doing what we can.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now we've only gone through about 75% of this presentation. So, do you want me to continue on here, or do you want to maybe pause for
Yeah,
part two?
maybe. Yeah, can go to part two.
Yeah. So just keep in mind, I'm
Yeah,
booked up into June, so you're gonna have to wait. Everybody's
yeah,
gonna have to wait.
yeah,
I'm sorry about
yeah,
that, but
yeah. It's okay. We will prepare something to present to you later.
okay. And maybe we can have some more updates from other presenter. It would be nice if we could have some photographic evidence. If anybody has some photos of showing evidence of surgical operations or procedures, that all
Yeah,
helps to.
I
Um,
will. I will try to get that, James.
all right. Okay. Let's go through chat questions. I'm sorry, Chad. I had to ignore you but I mean, I'm not ignoring you, but there was just a lot going on here tonight. But if you had some questions, go ahead and throw it in there now, because there's just too much here to scroll through to go back too far. Let's see here. First question. Chad comments, I had a mega program for most of my life. And thank you for sharing that. So we can overcome it. We don't have to accept it. We all have the choice. But if you don't do your spiritual work, Chad or Nugi or audience members, there's some people that they start getting their memories and then they get afraid, or they just don't want to deal with it. They hide. Then that's when the Omega starts to kick in, because you need to be doing your spiritual work. Let's see here. Linda says people have told them their super soldier experiences in Indonesia. Now, yeah, that's another amazing point to see here, that it's not just limited to the white Caucasian person, right? So we have the Hong Wong, right? We've heard about that earlier. We have the Yozoro no Kaishu, which is the I think that's the dark, not dark weapons in Japanese. I think it's always the Japanese breakaway. Let's see here. Of course, there's the British Space Navy, and um, I'm trying to remember the Spanish version, Calabero something. Okay, my Spanish is not that great, but anyway. So yeah, we have so many different groups, and they all are working together. Many of them working with Solar Warden or Nachtwaffen. Typically, the yeah, every organization, they're always looking for certain type of skills sets, like psychic abilities, or yeah, to become a super soldier. Let's go on here. No, I feel like I'm kind of rambling. Okay, let's see here. Other questions? Anybody? Jetbird's asking, what is the main tactic against reptilians? I guess you're asking me the question. I'll answer it, then I'll put it over to Nugi. So I guess you're asking how to defeat them in combat. Isn't their heart located under their right arm, like in their armpit? Nugi, do you know?
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you gotta like get them under the armpit or something. But
Yeah,
and then you also need to be able to um, you need to shield your consciousness, almost like you have to project yourself into a different altar while you fight them, because they can go into your mind and see what your next move is. So you have to conceal who you are through the shielding. So if you've been through these programs, you've been taught how to do that. So Written Dreams is asking, please explain the death of first or second person you spoke of.
What do you mean, the death of the first or second person?
Written Dreams, why don't you add some clarity to that one? Because I'm kind of stumped too. I don't think,
Yeah.
maybe, okay. I had encounters with reptilians for work. They're very strong psychically. They take over your whole consciousness. Oh yeah, Chad says they have 2 hearts under each armpit pit. So, wow. So you got to go after both arms then. Good luck on that one. All right. Well, the other thing you could do is just, never mind. I was going to say you could just love them, right? So we can love them so much they supposedly, like, they get frayed, right? They go away, but I don't know. I think, my experience of reptilians is they love too, and they love differently. Their emotions are different, but there are reptilians that care about humans and want the best for us. So it's not like we need to go immediately in defensive mode. Like there are some velociraptor types that are very carnivorous. So that species might need a little quarantine before interacting with them. But many of them are very loving, kind beings. And I know the Draco might be a different story. Okay, let's see here. Any other questions? Okay, let's go back down here. Okay, well, that's it for questions. Nugy, do you have any other final comments that you want to share?
Yes. I just want to comment that maybe the super soldier experience is in every part of the world, not just in the United States. Because here in Indonesia, I think that we have that phenomenon also, and probably the United States is also retrieving some of the super soldiers from many part of the region in our country in Indonesia. Okay, that's all.
Okay, wow. All right. Well, thank you all for listening in today or tonight or wherever you are in the world. And then I'm going to be on here. I think I've got another one either on Tuesday, or Monday, but I've got another message. Let me share some messages. So there's a conference coming up October 8th to 12th, 2025 in Orlando, Florida. So if you would like to attend that event, which I hope you do, I hope you all come, but there's only enough tickets for some of you. So go to supersoldiercon.com to purchase your ticket for the Super Soldier Activation Conference. The prices are going up at the end of April. And also there's a room block of 50 rooms. So go ahead and book that right away, because once that block is filled, I can get another block, but the prices will probably be going up. So, and again, we have about 25 speakers, or 24, 25, give or take 1 or 2. And we're going to be sharing about the secret space program, milabs, MK Ultra, Monarch programming. And we're going to have a great time, because it's right across the street from Universal. Or you could go to Disney or wherever you want to go. Or you can go to SeaWorld. So there's a lot of fun things to do nearby. And okay, you can also donate to Healing Soul Survivors to support the work that I do. And your donations are greatly appreciated. So you go to healingsoulsurvivors.org. And you can also go to Neological Tech, purchase a copy of my book. So it's 400 pages long, and it's jam-packed full of secret space program experiences. And so some of this stuff is dreams that I had, and I have conversations that I had over the years. So it's about 20 years worth of work. So decided that I can't really add any more to this. It's already 400 pages, so I'm gonna have to work on volume 2 soon. Get yourself a meditation device over here. So they have pyramids inside, orgo materials. You put it on your lap, meditate for 30 minutes a day, and it will help bring down the trauma, help you relax, help you feel good, and give you the ability to kind of just sail through life, because that's the thing is the trauma can act, it creates these ruminations in our mind that we get stuck in this track. By meditating, you can enter a state where it's the 0 point, or the Zen, right, with God, right, where you can be access to that inner self, of your own inner God self, and then you can tune into your own into the world that the super conscious field we call God, or the Holy Spirit. Every religion is different, but chi. Anyway, so go to neologicaltech.com, purchase a meditation device and a book, and I'm going to share a message from Purium. Again, it's this amazing superfood company. So everybody stay tuned for the message from Purium. Okay. Thank you, Nugi. I'll see you all later. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you all.
Thank you, James.
See
Thank
you.
you.
See ya. Bye.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Human Optimization Report. I'm your host, James Rink. Today, we're joined by Ian Farrar, a founding brand partner at Purium for the last 22 years, as well as a certified health coach and nutritionist. Ian, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. It's great to be here with you, James.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, audience members, for joining us as well. So tell us a little bit about some of your superfood packages.
Well, it's quite a really great story. I've actually been with Purium for going on my 22nd year, and the ultimate lifestyle transformation is a human optimization program. It's a program that breaks addictions and gets people on the path to health with making the right decisions. So we have a full lineup at ishoppurium.com, products that you're pretty much familiar with, products for your joints, products for your heart, products for your brain, brought from a whole food, real food, superfood way. And our focus is actually getting your gut microbiome on point. That's one of the products that I'd like to, focus in on today. It's called Biomedic. And Biomedic is really important because if your gut is right, then your health would be right, as well as your brain, because your gut microbiome is your second brain.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So is it like a prebiotic or a probiotic?
Yeah, it's actually a prebiotic, probiotic, and it has two compounds that actually help pull glyphosate, which is a chemical that's in 75% of our food supply. So it's an encapsulated product. It's called Biomedic. It's one of 5 products in the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, James.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So what are some of the other products if you were to get somebody on a regimen? What do you think they should be taking?
Sure. Well, most Americans are overfed and undernourished, and the Power Shake is our super nutrient dense green food. This is a certified organic grain shake. We've been making this a long time. I've been taking it 22 years. So this is the foundational nutritional support that one will be on. You'll have 2 shakes a day along with the Biomedic and proper food choices, which will enable you to optimize.
Okay, great. Thank you. So what are some of the other products?
Well, I have actually 3 more products to talk about. Most people don't understand protein. This is the Super Amino 23. This is a vegan protein. They're tablets. This offers a 99-to-1 net nitrogen utilization. 99% of the protein gets to the working muscle in 23 minutes. So when you're on a cleanse, this is going to be super beneficial to help you build muscle and burn fat. The next product is our Apothecary. And the Apothecary is the mountain red star cherry fruit, which has naturally occurring melatonin. It helps the body reduce inflammation. It's certified organic, and it helps the body get the equivalent of 9 servings of fruit. So this is essential for everybody. Most people don't get enough quality sleep. So this is what you end your evening with, along with a capsule of Biomedic.
Oh, wow. So do you offer like a package where you can get all those together?
Yeah. It's called the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. And the last product, which I haven't really discussed, which I will, which starts on day 11 of your 30-day, is the Super Cleanser, which is the parasite elimination. This is really, really important because it doesn't make a difference if you live in a first world country or a third world country. Parasites are everywhere. So this package right here, the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, comes in a beautiful box with directions. And, it's just awesome for people that want to take a break from the standard American diet and take a new path in their life for health.
Well, thank you, Ian, for sharing about these amazing products. So, if you would like to learn more about the Purium product line, why don't you click the link in the description and check out some of the packages. And I know I've checked out the website. There was a amazing amount of products, and some of it I wasn't even aware of, and I thought I was a health guru. So,
Yeah.
all right, thank you, Ian, for coming on here today.
No, you're very welcome, James. Pleasure to be here.
Hi, I'm James Rink, founder of Super Soldier Talk and the Super Soldier Activation Conference. Since 2010, I've fought to bring to light the untold stories of the secret space program. Now, we're inviting you to attend the 2025 Super Soldier Activation Conference in Orlando, Florida, for 4 days of speakers and fun, beginning October 8th to the 12th. Connect with over 25 courageous secret space program veterans and unlock hidden truths and activate your own potential. Secure your spot today. Join a community that's breaking barriers and exploring the extraordinary.
Please consider supporting Super Soldier Talk by purchasing your own Neo Meditation device. Your Neo Meditation device will help you reduce stress, integrate trauma, enhance intuition, enhance clairvoyance, and enhance creativity. Get yours now at www.neologicaltech.com.